Alright, I'm back again. End Time Watchman. I want to talk to you about a food raid in rural Ohio. Dang, that water was hot. Okay. Told you I had some breaking news. Some of you know this, some of you don't, but I don't believe a lot of you do, so I'm going to put it out there anyway. Okay, listen, I got 3 quotes I want to read, and then I want to go into this on a SWAT team with semi-automatic rifles entered a private home of the Stowers family in LaGrange, Ohio. Let me read these quotes first, okay? Over the past 20 years, Congress has encouraged the U.S. military to supply intelligence, equipment, and training to civilian police. The encouragement has spawned a culture of paramilitarism in American law enforcement, okay? The 1980s and 90s have been marked, and we've seen numerous changes in the number of state and local paramilitary units, in their mission and deployment, and their tactical armament. That was put out by the Cato Institute. Now, we cannot continue to rely on our military in order to achieve the national security objectives that we've set. Watch. We've got to have a civilian national security force that's just as powerful, just as strong, just as well funded. That quote came from the illegal alien, soon-to-be President Barack Hussein Obama, or Barry Lesotho, whatever all them aliases he's got. But that would be Obama's civilian national security force, okay? He is wanting a civilian national security force of about approximately 1 million. And basically what there'll be is moles and snitches, okay? There will be moles and snitches, and he will empower a bunch of stupid idiots that will try to come and snitch on you and turn you over to the New World Order, is basically what it amounts to, see? You that voted for him, you're just a pawn and a puppet. They got you to vote because you drank the Kool-Aid, see? I've had emails come from people that tell me that they voted for him, but now that they know the things about him, they're trying to legally go down legal avenues to get their vote back, man. They regret it. But in any event, let me read the third one. At the World Food Program, we have recognized what a valuable tool food aid can be in changing behavior. In so many poor countries, food is money, food is power. Catherine Bertini, Executive Director of World Food Program, the UN Plan for Food and Land. Now, I'm fixing to get to this this news article, and I know it's true, but listen to this. You ready? Police state, neighborhood near you. Monday, December the 1st, SWAT team with semi-automatic rifles entered the private home of Stowers family in LaGrange, Ohio, herded the family onto the couches in the living room, kept guns on the parents, children, infants, and toddlers from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., 9 hours. SWAT team come in, put the infants, toddlers, and all that, parents and the children, and held guns on them for 9 hours, okay? Can you imagine the trauma to the toddlers and infants and even the parents, okay? Can you imagine the trauma? Busted in the door, herded them in like a bunch of dadgum animals, and then held guns on them for 9 hours. Let me get on with it, okay? The team was aggressive and belligerent. The children were quite traumatized. At some point, the bad cop SWAT team was swapped out and relieved by another good cop team that tried to befriend the family. The Stower family has run a very large, well-known food cooperative, a food co-op. Some of you know what I'm talking about, some of you don't. We're involved in that, in the food co-op, called Manna Storehouse. Not this one we're not, but we're involved in one. Manna Storehouse on the western side of the greater Cleveland area for many years. For many years they've done this. It's a co-op, okay? It's a food co-op. In other words, you can buy organic stuff in bulk. A lot of people get together, they place their order, things of this nature, and, you know, ship it out, okay? Nothing wrong with that, okay? Now, there were agents from the Department of Agriculture present. And by the way, let me stop before I go any. Can I just talk about? There were people from the Department of Agriculture present, okay? Them bunch of stupid A-double, you know what, idiots that says the FDA and all that, they all tied together, that says that MSG is good for you, okay? That says that putting fluoride and everything is good for you, and the list goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. GMO food's good for you, but they coming in here and they screwing around and they messing around with some honest, hard-working people that try to grow stuff that's healthy and good for you. That's the gist of this whole deal. They want to control the food. That's what this is all about. They sending a bunch of punk A cops in there that ain't got enough sense to pour piss out of a boot, and they raiding the family, and they scaring little toddlers and babies to death. You a big son of a gun doing that, ain't you? Boy, you're something big, ain't you? You a Gestapo idiot. Let me move on. I just want to throw that in there. Now, listen to this. Agents began rifling through all of the family's possessions, a task that lasted hours, resulting in a complete upheaval of every private area in the home, ramshacked the home, tore it all to hell and back, okay? Come in there, busted the door down, tore the home all to pieces, ramshacked the son of a gun, traumatized the kids, okay? Police state is here, okay? I'm telling you right now, this crap ain't going to happen if you defend your family. If you defend your family, the time of pacifism is over, okay? I don't care what the preachers say. I don't care what none of them says. The time for the pacifism is over, okay? The reason Jesus told Peter to put his sword back up, because Jesus had to go to the cross. Peter didn't want him to go to the cross because he was too ignorant to see the things that were ahead in the future. Jesus told him to put the sword back up, fix the ear of the man, and he went on to the cross to die. There was a purpose for him putting the sword back up, because the time wasn't at hand to fight. The time is at hand now to fight for your rights, buddy, and for your family, and for your toddlers, and for your possessions that you worked your butt to death with and bought. Let me move on. Now, okay, the family was not permitted to a phone call, and they were not told what crimes they were being charged with. They were not read their rights. Over $10,000 worth of food was taken, including the family's personal stock of food for the coming year. They took their food for the coming year. I don't know about you. I'll tell you. I was going to preach, but I don't know if I'm able to tonight. I was going to do a preaching video. That pisses me off to take somebody's food that they stocked up. You understand me? You're going to piss us off to the point of no return. They took the people's food, man. They took the food they worked hard for. Their stock of food for the next year. If this don't wake you up, you're forgotten about. Now, come on, people. Let's wake up about this situation. My God in heaven, we got to wake up. God didn't plan for us to bow down to this mess, man. He didn't. You can't show me nowhere in the Bible. I understand it says love your enemies, pray for those that spitefully use you. When you love your enemies, that don't mean you let them come in and take your food and ransack your daggum house and traumatize your children. Get real, man. My God, what happened to an American patriot? And by the way, preacher, let me tell you this. Our forefathers died and got us out of Britain and died on these shores that you could stand in the pulpit and preach your stinking lies that ain't truth, that are tradition. Because Jesus said you nullify the Word of God, you devilish preacher, through your tradition. Now, if you're preaching the true Word of God, I'm with you. But you nullify the Word of God through your tradition. See? And you say that we should not defend our home. We should bow down like some kind of sheep to the slaughter. Not me, and not you, American patriot. You got to get ready. You got to have a mindset. You got to be ready to take action in a moment's notice, buddy. Okay, let's move on. Now, listen. Not read rights, over $10,000 of food was taken, including the family's personal stock of food for the coming year. All of their computers, cell phones were taken, as well as the phone contact records. The food cooperative was virtually shut down. There was no rational explanation nor justification for this extreme violation of constitutional rights. Now, part 2 coming up.